Heyo, EC here. And today I want to talk about Pokemon and a Pokemon spin-off that many people have seemed to have forgotten actually exists. And this Pokemon spin-off is actually Detective Pikachu. Now, I know a lot of people thinking, wasn't there a movie for this game series in 2019? And yes, there was. It made $433 million. It's not a bad movie. But the actual games are kind of just forgotten. Now, why is this? Now, for those who don't know, Detective Pikachu released obviously as a demo originally in Japan in 2016 on the eShop. When the game got its full release date in 2018, it was a year into the Switch's lifespan, meaning the game sold less than 500,000 copies by the time, obviously, it was fully released. Now, there was a follow-up, there was a sequel to the game in 2023 called Detective Pikachu Returns, and this game also didn't sell that well. It sold something like 137,000 copies, which for a system like the Switch, which has 152 million active consoles, that is insanely bad. For those who don't know, that is like 1%. That isn't even like 0.1% of the sales of the whole Switch ecosystem that bought this game. It's that bad. So why did this game fall? Was it the story bad? Was the game bad? What was the problem? Now, I think the first issue we had was obviously the release of the original game being in March 2018 and being on the 3DS. That is when the full game came out, and obviously March 2018 was a year into the Switch's lifespan, so we'd all sort of moved on. We'd already sort of moved towards Switch games, and Detective Pikachu was obviously a 2018 3DS game, which made it sort of forgotten. That happened with a lot of 3DS games that were pushed out during the Switch's lifespan, by the way. A lot of the games were sort of forgotten because obviously we already had the Switch on the market. That's what everyone cared about at the time. No one was worried about the 3DS in 2018. So after that, we had this follow-up, Detective Pikachu Returns. I think the problem with this one is also the reviews and the way people are saying that it just feels like baby's first like mystery game. It's not really that in depth, and for a Pokemon series, obviously, many people wanted more from these games, and obviously what we got just wasn't the best, and that's the problem. These games aren't bad, but they're very much aimed at children. They're very much aimed at kids, whilst with other Pokemon games, they're a lot more universal. These ones were very specific, very clearly aimed at a younger audience, and these games obviously didn't appeal to the vast majority of Pokemon fans. And also, I feel like a lot of people probably didn't even realize these games came out. Like, Detective Pikachu 1 came out in 2018. People seem to know what it was. It sold like 500,000 copies, right? Detective Pikachu Returns, the follow-up, didn't even sell like 150k on the Switch, which is honestly quite worrying, especially as the Switch obviously had over 102 million consoles. And, well, you would have thought, by that time people would have actually realised this game series exists. But I guess the marketing behind it wasn't the best either. And I guess no one was really talking about it. I guess it didn't really catch on. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think Detective Pikachu being forgotten is a shame? Because I feel like a lot of Nintendo franchises, well, not just Nintendo franchises, but with Pokemon sub-franchises, that a lot of them have a lot more potential than you realise. Like Pokemon Ranger, for example, I feel like they should bring that back. But Detective Pikachu, being a narrative-driven story game, I feel like it had a lot of potential. It's kind of a shame that the games didn't succeed the way they did. But when you realise that these games are very much aimed at children, they're very much, very simple sort of games, it makes sense why they weren't a huge hits. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, turn notifications. I've been EC and I'm signing out. Peace.